It's 1975. You're a single mother in Indianapolis. You're poor, you're tired, and the world has made it clear it doesn't care much about you. Then you walk into a church. The man at the front knows your name. He asks about your kids. He tells you that you matter, that you are seen, that this community, these hundreds of people singing, laughing, holding each other, this is your family now. Within weeks, members are showing up at your door with food, with help, with time. The pastor himself calls you personally to check in. You have never felt this loved in your life. That man was Jim Jones. That church was the People's Temple. And within a few years, you and 900 others would be dead in the jungles of Guyana. This is love bombing. And it didn't just happen to one vulnerable woman in Indianapolis. It happened to doctors, lawyers, professors, civil rights activists, people with every reason to know better. Because love bombing doesn't target stupidity, it targets need, and need is universal. Here's what was actually happening in that church. Jim Jones had studied human psychology with surgical precision. He understood that the most powerful thing you can offer another person isn't money or safety. It's the feeling of being chosen, of being seen. So the People's Temple built an entire machine around that feeling. New members were showered with attention. Veteran members were assigned to learn their backstories, their wounds, their longings. Jones would then reference these details publicly, creating the illusion of almost supernatural intimacy. He knew you, he saw you, he cared. Your brain registered this as profound connection. What it was actually registering was dopamine, the same neurochemical behind every addiction ever studied. And like any drug, the effect wasn't just pleasure. It was bonding. It was craving. It was the slow, invisible construction of dependency. This is the mechanics of love bombing. Flood the target with intensity. Affection, attention, validation, belonging. All at once, all overwhelming. Your critical mind doesn't get a vote. Your limbic system, the ancient part of your brain that processes reward and attachment, is already running the numbers. And to that part of your brain, intensity equals significance. It cannot tell the difference between something real and something engineered to feel real. Then Jones pulled back. Not all at once, gradually. The phone calls got shorter. The warmth turned conditional. Approval had to be earned now. Public criticism crept in. Members who had felt chosen began to feel scrutinized. And instead of leaving, they worked harder. They gave more. They tried to get back to how it felt in the beginning. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. Behaviorists first documented it in rats. Give a rat a lever that sometimes produces food and sometimes doesn't, and it will press that lever more compulsively than a rat that gets rewarded every time. The unpredictability doesn't weaken the attachment, it intensifies it. By the time Jones had full control over his congregation, he hadn't demanded it. They had surrendered it, chasing a feeling he had manufactured and then rationed. This is what makes love bombing so devastatingly effective as a long-term strategy. It creates a before, a reference point your brain treats as the standard. Everything that follows gets measured against that original flood. And because that flood was artificially intense, nothing real can compete with it. Not other relationships, not your own judgment, not even evidence that something is deeply wrong. Former People's Temple members who survived Jonestown described years of cognitive dissonance. They saw the warning signs, they felt the fear. But the emotional memory of how it began, that overwhelming, specific, radiant feeling of being loved, made it nearly impossible to name what was happening as abuse. Because it hadn't started as abuse. It had started as the best feeling of their lives. So what do you actually do with this? The practical takeaway is not to stop trusting people. It's to distrust intensity that arrives without time. Real love, real belonging, real connection, these deepen over time. They are built on repeated small moments, on being known gradually, on someone showing up consistently across months and years. What love bombing offers is the opposite. It is the entire emotional payoff of a years-long relationship delivered in the first 2 weeks. And anything that gives you everything immediately is asking for something in return. When someone makes you feel extraordinary this fast, don't ask yourself whether they're genuine. Ask yourself what they're learning about you. Ask yourself what need in you they have found and are feeding. Not because everyone with warmth has an agenda, but because your dopamine system will never ask those questions on your own behalf. That's your job. Jones knew that. Now you do too.